was a beautiful day here in Virginia. Blue skies as far as the eye could see. It was about 73 degrees outside. Beautiful day. And I couldn't enjoy it because I was sick. I was sick all day long today and sick all day long yesterday. And I started feeling better around 4 o'clock today. And I was like, what can I do to make up for the fact that I could not enjoy the first official warm day outside after a very excruciating winter? And I was like, you know what? I will make a video. I will continue along with my DVD series and show you guys my favorite comedies. This one was a hard one because I love to laugh. If I could just spend my whole life laughing, then I would be very happy. Laughing and praising, my two favorite things to do, laughing and praising and karaoke. So, let's get started. The first one is, let's see if I can tap. Probably not. I'm probably not at that level yet with my nails. This is Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking Too. I love this series. I grew up with this series. And I love them. Look Who's Talking centers around Molly, who is played by Kirstie Alley. Molly is a floozy, pretty much. She has an affair with a married man and gets pregnant and has a little boy who is voiced by Bruce Willis. It really humbles her. I think it really humbles her to have a child. But it's just so funny. And then in the middle of all this chaos, she falls in love with the cab driver that drove her to the hospital when she went into labor. His name is James, and he is played by John Travolta. And at the beginning of the movie, it's just a very one-sided to her. It's just like a good friendship, you know. But right off the bat, you can tell right off the bat he has feelings for it. But she wants to find a good dad for her son. So at first, she's like, he's just a cab driver. Is he really a good enough dad for my son? And I can respect that. And then you have Look Who's Talking Too, where James and Molly have gotten married, and they have a little girl, Julie, who is voiced by Roseanne Barr. And it's a great movie about brotherly, sisterly love. Mikey's not having too good of a time accepting that he isn't the baby anymore. And then also Molly and James are having their own trouble. But still, it's so funny, so funny. Kirstie Alley and John Travolta, man. I'm so glad that I grew up during that time, because is The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. When I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, a buddy cop movie, because they're so different. But I was wrong, and I admit it. I was very, very wrong. We saw this movie 3 times in theaters. Let's see, this is Sarah Ashburn and Shannon Mullins. Okay, Shannon Mullins and Sarah Ashburn. Sarah is part of the FBI, and Shannon is a cop. And they buddy cop to catch I think it's a drug lord. It's been a long time since I watched this movie, but it's so good. I like this scene at the bar. One of my favorite scenes. Actually, this whole movie is just so funny. The funniest movie of the year is what it says. I believe that 100%. I'm not a huge buddy cop movie fan, but I love The Heat. I love Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy. This one you guys may not know of, but it's a movie that I grew up on with my family, and that is, there it is, Funny Farm with Chevy Chase. This movie is about Andy and his wife. Andy, and I forgot what her name is, his wife. But they move from the city to the country so he can write a book. He's an author, a writer. And the shenanigans that they go through with country living is just comedy gold. I know recently Chevy Chase has gotten a bad rap. He's gotten a bad rap for as long as I can remember. A lot of people on SNL said that he was a bully, that they couldn't stand him, but I love his movies. I don't have to like him as a person, but his movies are some of my favorites. This is one of my favorite Chevy Chase movies of all time. So funny. I don't know if this is my favorite rom-com of all time or not. It's definitely up there, and that is Overboard with Kurt Russell. Right? Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. I might just have to watch this tonight because I love it so much. I've seen it 1,000 times. What I love about this movie is that these two are together in real life. They never married, but they're still together, and I love them. This movie is about Joanna. Okay, so Joanna is, her husband's rich and they own a yacht. And Dean is a carpenter that comes to build Joanna a new closet. She's just one of those people that nothing ever makes her happy. She's always bored. She can never really find anything to be grateful for. But when the does not live up to her expectations. She refuses to pay him and pushes him overboard. But later that night, she falls overboard and she gets amnesia, and she sees her on the news and thinks to himself, I know how to get her back, I know how to get my money. And so he goes to the hospital where she's at and tells them that he is her husband. This movie would not fly nowadays, you guys. Nobody has a good sense of humor nowadays. This movie would not fly nowadays. But, of course, at first he gets her as a slave, but then slowly but surely, they start falling in love. You guys see where I get my hopeless romanticism from. Movies like this. This movie was released in 1987. Timeless classic. The remake does not even compare to this. Does not even compare. So good. Put that one to the side so I can watch it later. Another one that you guys may not have heard of. This is a recent buy for me, and I had to spend like $30 on it. I was like, because I've gotten to the point where I've been like, I need to get serious about saving money if I want to get out of my parents' house. But I really wanted this one in my collection very, very badly. So I splurged on it. And that is Daddy's Dying, Who's Got the Will. What is funny about this movie, I mean, not really funny, is my cousin that passed. They're still going through his will, and a lot of people have come out of the woodwork about it because my cousin was worth millions of dollars. So it's crazy to me how many people have come out of the woodwork wondering. People from my church, it's a small town, people from my church coming up to me like, are they going to sell his house? What's going on? And I'm like, the guy hasn't even been dead 2 months, and you're asking me if they plan to sell his house. Like, I don't know anything. Stop asking me. So I guess I bought this because of that, because it's so relatable at the present time. So this movie is about a very dysfunctional family. Let me just read the back. They want Daddy's love, but they'll settle for his dough. A terrific cast including Beau Bridges, Beverly D'Angelo, Des Harper, and Judge Reinhold star in this wickedly funny comedy about a Texas family that gathers to mourn and perhaps to mine the memory of dear old dad. Scheming Orville, who is played by Bridges, Nympho Evelita, who is played by Beverly D'Angelo, loyal Sarah Lee Harper, and self-righteous Lorlyn Amy Wright, are all frantic when they learn that their daddy's dying, mostly because they can't find his last legal will and testament. But as old grudges and suppressed desires are aired, this family reunion becomes a wild free-for-all and a touching, unpredictable, and affectionate drama. Judge Reinhold in this movie as the hippie Harmony. I'm a big fan of him. And I hate to say it like this, but this character, Orville, reminds me of my dad so much. And his wife in this movie, Marlene, reminds me of my mom. shared this movie with me back in the day. It was released in 1990. It's very funny, but touching at the same time. It really dives into family dysfunction and realizing that there is nothing like family. Nothing. But it's definitely a comedy. Beverly D'Angelo in this movie too. She's hilarious. Now, I don't know of anybody that knows this movie at all. Daddy's dying, who's got the will. Another Kirstie Alley movie. For richer or poor. With Tim Allen and Kirstie Alley. This movie is about Brad and Carolyn Sexton. They are married, unhappily married, and the, what they call it, accountant that supposedly had been stealing money from them instead of filing their taxes. And so they run off, died, and run into an Amish country. And at first it's so freaking funny. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. They like drive their taxi into a lake. It's so funny, but it humbles them. Being in the Amish country, it humbles them. I actually really love Tim Allen. I love both of these actors so much. They don't make comedies like this anymore. It makes me sad. And it was released in 1998. Another family favorite is What About Bob? It's scary to realize that when it comes to friendships, I'm definitely a Bob character. Well, I was for a while. This stars Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. Comic wizard Bill Murray teams up with Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss. Murray plays Bob Wiley, a troubled but lovable therapy patient who fears everything. After seeking help from noted psychiatrist Dr. Leo Marvin, Bob feels revived. But when the good doctor skips town to go on a quiet family vacation, Bob, afraid of being alone, follows, showing up unexpectedly at the therapist's lakeside retreat. That's when the fun really begins. Bob innocently becomes a house guest who just won't leave, endearing himself to the other family members in the end, driving the stressed out shrink absolutely crazy. Me and my family have watched this movie so many times. So many times together. Classic. It was released in I know it was early 90s. I'm sailing. This part where they tie him to the pole. He's like, I'm sailing ahoy. Just so good. I love Richard Dreyfuss. Big fan of him. Billy Madison, my favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time. I watched this movie so many times with my brothers that I could recite it backwards to forwards. So this is Billy. Billy he's a partier. He's the son of a very rich man who is planning to give his hotel chair to his protege, that's Eric. Hey, Eric. But Billy was like, what about me? And they make a plan that because Billy never graduated high school, and they make a plan that if Billy can go to school and complete 1st through 12th grade and graduate, that he will inherit the hotels. And it's so Adam Sandler fashion. So freaking funny. The part with the story in kindergarten, The Puppy Who Lost His Way by Chrissy Taylor. Whoa, Miss Lippy. Even as a little girl, I used to quote that part in front of my mother. I was like, do you blame me? My brothers let me watch it. So many memories. I love this movie. So good. Shampoo is better. Oh, really, fool? Really? Stop looking at me, Swan. So good. Okay, I'm thinking, and I want to leave these two for the end. Dumb and Dumber. Jim Carrey is my favorite actor of all time, and don't even get me started about all the hoopla that is going on with him. Don't even get me started. My favorite Jim Carrey movie is actually Liar Liar. I also really love The Truman Show. That's a great one. But Dumb and Dumber is definitely classic. This movie is about Harry and Lloyd. They're best friends. And Lloyd is a limo driver. And he falls in love with this woman that he takes to the airport. And she leaves her briefcase. And, being in love with her and being a limo driver, he goes and fetches the briefcase without knowing that it's full of money and travels to Aspen to return it to her. But then hilarity happens and a little bit of heartbreak happens. And just Jim Carrey I don't know how to feel about the whole thing, you guys. I really don't know how to feel. And this is the unrated version. I haven't even watched it yet. Maybe it's about high time I do. I don't even think it's opened yet. Dumb and Dumber. I'm so afraid that these are going to fall over. Let me move some things around. Sorry. said I want to be skinny enough one day so I can mimic the dance from this movie when they dance to You Don't Own Me. Oh my gosh. You guys, that day is going to be spectacular. There are so many funny moments, like when they had to ride down on that painter's, I don't know what you would call it, but Annie is so fearful of heights, and it is just absolutely hilarious the way she's screaming and just freaking out. Annie reminds me so much of myself in this movie. Such a great, funny, heartwarming movie. My favorite cheerleading movie in that is Fired Up. I'm going to read the back of this one too because it's been a while. In this laugh out loud comedy, Fort High star football players Sean Colfax and Nick Brady scheme to ditch football camp so they can spend the summer surrounded by beautiful girls at cheer camp. The guys are having the time of their lives as they use their new reputation as sensitive guys to talk the hotties into skinny dipping, cheering naked, and hooking up. But when Sean falls for the gorgeous head cheerleader who's suspicious of their motives, the players must change their game to prove Sean's attentions before the thrilling cheer competition finals. I love these two together. They're so funny. So funny. And this is the unrated version. So it's probably going to be even funnier. I prefer this movie over American Pie. And I love, of course, Bring It On too, but I think this one is funnier than Bring It On. Alright, I have to end this video on a high note. I've got to. I have family that watches my videos. But first, Tommy Boy, the Holy Schnikey edition. Chris Farley, man. So, I'm speechless now. I'm going to have to read the back. Okay. The boys are back and they're bigger than ever in the gut-busting, all-new Holy Schnikey edition. Crack-up comedians Chris Farley and David Spade star as two never-do-well traveling salesmen who hit the road in order to save the family business in this infectiously funny, larger-than-life movie. So, Tommy barely passes college. He passes with like a D+. After 7 years of college, he passes with a D+. And his family is rich. And he is taking over his father's business. Or at some point, taking over his father's business. At first, he just has his own office and everything. His father passes away. And then he learns that they are selling his father's business, Break Bad business, to another higher up salesman who is played by Dan Aykroyd. And Tommy decides to go on a road trip to sell enough brake pads to keep the business afloat. But he takes Richard, who is played by David Spade, with him. And at first they can't stand each other. But then Chris Farley was the absolute best, you guys. He's one of my top favorite comedians of all time. Top 5 for sure. Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, watched this so many times when I was growing up. So many times. Like you have, let's see, the Lunch Lady Land song. Matt Foley, of course. The Chippendales. What else? The Chris Farley Show. Just if I could just spend my whole life laughing, I'd be so happy. But he instilled laughter into my life when I really needed it. I was a very sick kid, and me and my twin brothers and my mom and dad would all sit around and watch this, and the room would just be full of laughter. Gone but never forgotten. I love the best of. I have not watched SNL since the 90s, maybe early 2000s. But like SNL with David Spade, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider, Dane Garvey, like that was the best SNL in my opinion. Now SNL is all about politics and things, and I'm just like, I'm over it. You know, Molly Shannon, Maya Rudolph, like now it's all like politics and making fun of the president and stuff, and I'm just like over it. But anyways, you guys, so those are my favorite comedies. I would love to know what your favorite comedies are. I love you guys, and I'll be talking to you soon. God bless you guys.